Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Express, which is becoming everyone's favorite talk show. It is profoundly real and interesting, so without any further delay, please help me welcome back to the stage the beautiful and expressive director of Express, Carolyn. Carolyn, take it away.
Hello, everyone. This is Carolyn, your host for Express Talk Show. We're doing this for you, the people. Thank you for being here. Before we get started, I'm just going to remind you that you need to click on the like button, share, and most of all, subscribe. And in doing so, you will be notified whenever there's a new content. Thank you so much for being here. For those who have just stopped by today, I just want to welcome you and sit tight for what we have to offer. And also those who have been with us from we've started 2 months ago, we want to let you know that we really appreciate you. So before we go any further, I just want to let you know that we have a guest today. His name is Sefton Dale Brown. Whenever I think of Dale, I always think of music and laughter. He's such a friendly, bubbly person. And originally he is from Kingston, Jamaica. He was born and raised in a musical family. His parents are Sefton Brown Sr. and Claudette Brown, who are gospel music legends from the ministry New Creation Heritage. The Sefton Jr., known to most as Dale, has been singing for over 35 years. He has ministered all over the Caribbean, serving as the choir director for praise team, coordinator, music director, worship and director, arts director for many ministries all across North America, Canada, and the Caribbean. He formed a ministry called Dale Brown and Truth, also known as DB&T, which started in August 2009 and is currently comprised of 18 active members from across the United States and Canada. This group blends traditional and contemporary gospel music with their own musical style. They have ministered all across the United States, the Caribbean, and now Canada. The ministry released their first album, True Celebration, in December 2013, and their second album, Under Construction, in September of 2015 and in January of 2018. They released a gospel reggae fusion project called Bold Believers. They were all nominated in 2018 for the Best Contemporary Gospel Group Award at the Eddie Awards held in Jacksonville, Florida. In addition to their albums, the ministry has a clothing line which includes t shirts, dresses, and sweaters. Dale has currently relocated to Toronto, Canada, where he's very active in the gospel music industry. He is currently the music teacher at Crawford Adventist Academy, the praise and worship director for the Apple Creek Church, the vocal director from the Shiloh Ministry, and the music consultant for Meadowvale Church and the director of the promotion company called Music is Life. Dale Brown and Truth has expanded their ministry to now having a chapter in Toronto called Dale Brown and Truth Praise. God has been really good to this ministry, and for that, they are very grateful. It is their desire, however, to take God with them wherever they go, spreading his love to those who may or may not know how miraculous God is. Their charge to you today is to commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. That's Psalm 37 5. Let's have a drum roll for Sefton Dale Brown to enter the studio. Welcome, Dale, as I will call you during the show, which I've always called you anyway, Dale. How are you
Hi, how
today?
are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm actually very grateful to God that I can be able to have you in the show to interview you. This is like a dream come true. Still full of music and laughter?
Yeah. I'm trying. The bio was a little long though. I don't know why I should have sent you two lines. Just hi, my name is Dale. That would have sufficed. But
Well,
no,
we'll talk around it. We'll talk around it.
no. I'm
We'll
joking.
talk
I'm joking. It was
talk
fine.
around it. Yes.
I'm still heavily involved in music. Heavily involved in I enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy laughter. I think it's therapeutic. So
Yes.
it's always a privilege to me to be able to do both, to do music and to have some laughter involved as well. So yes, to
Yes.
answer your question, yes, I'm
Yes.
still involved in that.
We miss you. They took you away to Canada.
I
Oh boy.
know, and apparently Canada is not letting me go because
I
everywhere
I
I go,
can
they're like,
see.
we're not letting you go. So
As you landed, they just gave you so much to do. And of course,
yeah.
you take it. I'm so glad for that. This is what we need to do. When we are placed somewhere, we just do what we have to do and spread the word. So tell me, let's go back a little to, where you originated from. We said that, Jamaica, but
Mhm.
that's where your music started. Tell me, what motivated you to get into music so deeply and so naturally?
I think for me the motivation was probably my parents, my family. I
Yes.
grew up around the music. My parents sang in a group, and they still do. I think. Well, no, not think. They do still sing in a group called New Creation Heritage in Kingston, Jamaica, heavily based out of Kennecott Seventh Adventist Church now. But
Okay.
they are based in Kingston, and I think that was my influence. That's what kind of gave me that start in music, and then everything around me was musical. Both sides of my family, on my mom's side and on my dad's side, they both are heavily into music. So it was like I was always at church doing music. I was always around music happening. So music was just there for me, and I was always in it. So.
How do you feel? Tell me. When you know someone invited you or you decide to do a concert, tell me, what does it do for you? I know to have a concert is a lot of planning before, but tell me.
Um, so
What,
in my earlier days, I guess when I was younger, I guess the first couple of times doing concerts, I actually don't remember a nervous time. I don't remember a time when I was like nervous or worried. So because I was always in it, I was always involved in it. When I got
yes.
older and I was doing my own concerts, probably 2 to 5 seconds before going on stage, I may get a little nerve, like, all right, this is happening, but
Yes.
after that, I'm good to go.
And the people who you have chosen or who have, approached you, I don't know what method you use to get your people to be a part of your group.
Ministry.
They all seem to synchronize. I've always noticed that. They always seem to be on really one accord with you.
Mhm.
Give me, for someone who maybe want to start a singing group, what advice would you give them? Because
Um,
obviously,
so, so yeah, so in addition to their vocal ability,
mhm,
personalities have to connect, and attitudes have to connect, energies have to connect. So I'm going to get a little bit more technical with the music. So
mhm,
in addition to your vocal ability, and that is just having the ability to sing, it's now the details involved in the texture and the timbre of your actual voice, like how your voice sounds and how it will blend. Blend is a big thing for me. Like I'm big
yes,
on blend.
yes.
If it doesn't blend, it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm big on making sure that there's a blend of some sort. Yeah, so I've just been lucky to I've had a couple of times when there was not a blend, and I had to go back to the drawing board. But
Mm-hmm.
more often than not, before we get to the point of being like a member or like singing consistently, I will listen and make sure that there's a blend. So I think my ear is what really helps me a lot to kind of hear what that blend should sound like for me, I know personally. And I use that measurement stick to gauge, okay, this person can work, that person can't work, or that person probably can only work for a short time, or these people may only be able to work when these people are singing, or this person may work in an alto, maybe better in a soprano when we have these voices here. So there are lots of movements that happen behind the scenes, but again, that's the ear. That's just my ear, kind of sort.
Yeah. So you're very gifted. In other words, you're
Amen.
gifted. That
And
is what the what God has given you, and you really are moving with it. And I remember watching Martin Luther King, where Pauline Christian, she had this yearly thing she does for Martin Luther. Was it Martin Luther King? Yeah.
it is Martin Luther
Yeah,
King
yeah.
celebration.
And I was watching it, and then I saw you, and I'm like, but this guy just got to Canada.
What's crazy is I have been doing Martin Luther King since the first year I moved here. I did it. I
Oh,
moved here in 2019. I did it that first year, and then after that, I became the music director for the Martin Luther King organization. So it
wow.
just so happened, and I wasn't even supposed to be on that show. I was just in charge of planning the music. So my choir was on there, my school choir was on there. I brought the artist from New York,
Hmm.
and I think Pauline came back to me and she said, "So they are actually, we would like to have you sing as well." And I was like, "Okay." And then that's how we got on there. So
Wow, wow. And through this all, there's a strong woman behind you. That's your wife. That's Chantel, right?
Chantel Brown.
And I met Chantel years ago. We did business together. Tell me, how, and I know I've observed Chantel too. She's in the singing group, right?
Sometimes,
Sometimes, yes.
yeah, yeah, she sings well, so sometimes she does sing with us. Yes.
So how do you work family? Because you have a son by the name of Kristen, right? How do you work family and music? How do you do them both?
That's a tricky question. It's just having an understanding as to what the plan is or what you're trying to do, and making
Hmm.
sure that all the parties involved are on the same page. That's
Right.
always going to be key. You have to be on the
Mhm.
same page,
Yes.
understanding what that looks like, and just being on the same page. If you're not on the same page, there's going to be conflict, confrontation, there's going to be argument, there's going to be stresses and fusses that will arise. But ideally, being on the same page, that is the short answer. Ensuring
Hmm.
everybody involved, whether it's, and you
Fam-
mentioned family, so that family could be
Family. Yes.
family
Hmm.
could be children, family could be parents, whomever, whichever parties are involved, just ensuring that they're on the same page at all times.
Yes. 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 And where Kristen is concerned, I notice you have a very good relationship with him. Talk on behalf of fathers. What would you say as per your relationship with your son? What would you how would you encourage fathers to be fathers now who may be having a rough time to deal with their children?
Just be real. Be real with your kids. Be real as can be. Remember that you were a kid once. Remember that. I
Hmm.
mean, though you were a child once, you should also remember that it's always going to be a different generation. So some things that you did, they may do differently, but you were a kid once. So be real with them. Don't. A lot of us as parents tend to behave as though the things that we did or that we were exposed to, there's no way my child could ever do that. Oh no, my child would never be in that, or my child would never think that. Yes, your child would. You did. Your
Hmm.
child would. That's life. So just be real with the kid and make sure that your child has an or try to ensure that the child has an understanding of life, what's
Yes,
involved in
yes.
life, has an understanding of the realities of life. And it's not always easy. It's not
Hmm.
always the best the best journey. Sometimes my son doesn't want to talk to me at all.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm in this
Imagine.
like a
I have a
mosquito.
daughter too, remember? I understand.
I'm in his skin like a Jamaican Kingston mosquito. Like I'm in his skin, and he's just like that. Leave me alone. You're annoying. Stop. So, but I'm there for him all the time,
Yes,
as often as I can be. He knows that. So, it's balancing out time for him, time for family, and time for music.
yes, yes, yes. What about teaching? How did you get into teaching? Did you always like doing that?
Oh no, 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 no. I did not like. I used to laugh at my friends in university that were in education. I was like, "You are crazy. You want me to go to school, and then when we done school, you want me to go back and sit down in one classroom?" That was my exact response, like just like that. I would laugh at them for years. I got into education when so let's broaden the scope of teaching. Teaching
Yes, yes.
outside of the classroom, where in music we have to teach the music. So
Okay.
with
Mhm.
choirs, you have to teach.
Right.
Um, in the Sabbath school or in small groups or youth groups, you have to teach. So I was always teaching, without knowing I was teaching.
Right,
And
right. It's
then
part of
after a couple of years, someone had asked me be a to be a contracted music teacher at a school in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where I lived for about 18 to 19 years. And
Mhm.
when I had gotten that chance, I was like, let me try this thing. And it wasn't bad. I had a good relationship, but like I said, I was always teaching, but just not in a professional school academic system where it was a school outline or stuff like that. So then after that, I stayed in education, and then I actually really, really like it now. My kids, I
Mhm.
don't like all the time. I mean, I like them all the time, but I like them most times. So that, yeah, but
I've seen you on video with them. It's like, boy, they had I could see that connection with you
oh
and
yeah,
them,
yeah.
you know? Yeah, that's good.
My kids and I, we have a lot of fun. We ride hard. We always cutting up, always cracking jokes, always laugh. My kids talk to me about everything,
Yes,
everything. If you
that's
can
good.
think it, they're going to knock on my door. Mr. Brown, can we talk? And we talk
Uh-huh.
all the time.
That's
So,
good. That's good. So how do you find teaching in America in opposed to Canada? Is there a difference?
nobody's ever asked me that. I don't necessarily see a difference per se.
Mhm.
Um, Probably the system is very similar, but personalities are a little just slightly different. I always tell
Mhm.
people that Canadians are very nice people, like very, very. The average Canadian is a very thoughtful person.
Mhm.
So you find that that personality trait may be a little different in some of the kids. Some of the kids may be a little bit nicer, but the system and how the general consensus is or the general attitude for the kids are same. Same bad picnic in America, same bad picnic in Toronto. Same
Oh boy, I tell you.
bad.
Can you tell me a little bit about when you realized you had to move from United States to Canada? How was that transition?
How was the transition? It wasn't my decision at all. It was Chantel's decision. She said she wanted to move to Canada, and I was like, move to Canada for what? And she said because she likes it. It's a family space. It's a more better for families. I was like, better for family. I don't know nobody in Canada because I don't I actually have one cousin here. One.
Uh-huh.
I did. I knew I had friends here, and I knew there were people here who knew me through music, but I never had a relationship with them like that. Um, and then she said, I tried to be very easygoing most times, so
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a big deal for me. It wasn't for me. It was just an opportunity to reinvent myself as a musician, or an opportunity to just reinvent myself in a space and just set different goals. So it wasn't because I moved from Jamaica to the US, so that was
Mm-hmm.
already a transition. Then I moved from the US
Transition.
to Canada, so it wasn't like a hoopla, like oh my gosh, this is such a what am I gonna do? I don't know how I'm gonna. No, it wasn't that deep for me at all. To be honest, I just
Yeah,
said, this is it has to happen. So what you want to do? Okay, let's do it. That was
yeah,
the
that's
actual.
good. Canada is a lot like England. When I went there, visited there, it reminded me a lot of England.
England. I've
Mm-hmm.
never been to England, so I couldn't make the comparison. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you, that's what you saw, that's how you
Yes,
experience it. You
yes,
know.
yes. All right. So, is there anything that you would like to share with the audience today that you think would help them as you're still a young family, still a young man, still reaching out, you're teaching, you're into music. Is there something um during that whole process from, traveling from England to not from Jamaica, sorry, to United States to Canada and all that you're doing. There's something there that you've learned about life.
Mm.
There's something
Uh,
there you have
Definitely.
learned about life. Would you like to share that? I'm sure you've learned something because you
Okay.
deal a lot
First,
with
um,
people. Yeah,
so
you
first
deal a
off,
lot with people.
uh, authenticity is important.
Okay.
Ensuring that at all times you try, if not always, if you can, just keep trying to be as
Mhm.
authentic as you possibly can to
Good.
oneself, authentic to your craft.
Hmm.
Um, Understand this thing called individualism, where
Hmm.
understand that people are allowed to be themselves.
Selves. Okay.
And when they show you themselves, understand that that's who they are. We're allowed as people to have an opinion, to make choices. So that's individualism, allowed to be who we were created to be, whether that's good or that's bad. We're all allowed to be who we are.
Right.
And
Hmm.
also that, and I did this in one of my songs, just ensuring that we understand that every day you get up, you should always try to be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Like,
Hmm.
don't, I've seen it like 2 or 3 times in the past 24 hours. We spend so much time, we wake up and we complain about all the things that aren't going right, or complain about all the things that we would have preferred go another way, not realizing that we're complaining and we got up. Like, some people didn't get up.
True.
So
True.
we sit
True.
there and we
True.
complain about all the things that didn't go right. We woke up and, oh, I'm wake up with a headache, or I woke up and I still have these bills, and I woke up, or this is not working. You woke up. Like, let's
Yes.
start there. You woke
Yes.
up. So if you keep that at the forefront, I mean, the sky's the limit. I was watching this thing yesterday. This kid,
Mm-hmm.
filmmaker, doing an interview, and he said, there's if it's, and I've always told myself this, if it's humanly possible, if it has been accomplished by a human,
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. So if it's humanly possible, I can do it. If I don't do it, it's because I have not either found the tools, the resources, or I have not pushed myself hard enough to do it. But as long as it's humanly possible, then I can do it. So that's my encouragement to everyone that's listening.
Good.
If it's humanly possible, you can do it. If someone
Good.
else has done it, there's nothing that makes them different from you. We all have the same body parts. We all have the same bodily features for the most part. They are
Mm-hmm.
able to do it. You are able to do it. Doesn't matter your age. I was watching something. I think it was Harrison Ford, or was it Harrison Ford, who started acting at age 45. Like,
Mm.
he started his acting career at an older age, and that goes for many people. So if it's a possibility, if it's a desire of yours, if it's an aspiration of yours, make sure that you are your authentic self. Ensure that you maintain your individualism, and just
Mm-hmm.
go for it. Every day is a new day to take on another opportunity. Just go for it. Sky's the
It's
limit.
so wonderfully said. So wonderfully said. Authenticity, individuality, choices, make choices, and be a better version of yourself.
Yep.
Dale, this is a wonderful interview. I just was looking forward to it, and I am so happy that you took the time to be
My
with
pleasure.
me
My pleasure.
here on the show and the people who are watching you right now. So, thank you so much again, and I wish you all the best. And I'll be watching you,
God
and I'll be
bless you.
inviting
God
you
bless you.
again.
God
Thank you
bless
so
you.
much to
No
you
problem.
and your family. Good, good. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you. Well, we've ended that conversation with Dale. Wasn't it just natural? You learn so much from him. He has accomplished so much, and he's just an easygoing person. I love to talk to people like that. Now, as you always know, I always try to leave a thought before I end the show. I have two thoughts today. One is from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and it says, music is the universal language of mankind. And I picked up a phrase here. I'm not sure who wrote it, but it said, music has also been shown to reduce pain and even have a positive effect on symptoms of stroke and dementia. And for patients with Alzheimer's disease, it benefits may well be that singing and listening to music improves moods, helps relieve all memories, and even improve general thought processes. This is the end of the show. Before I go, remember, touch subscribe so that you can be inundated on the contents. Share and like, and we look forward to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
It has a little Caribbean twist to it. Is that alright? Is that alright, everybody? Alright. Every time I'm singing my praise, everybody knows me. I want to get to know me. Yeah, yeah. Every time I'm singing my praise, people talk about me and say I'm acting crazy. But when I'm down, nobody cares. I look all around, and if nobody's there, then I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay for me to sing my praise. For me to sing my praise. Like when my life's going well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody knows me. Yeah. Really want to know me. Yeah. Got a house and car and money to spend. They always know my number. They call when they are under. But when I'm down, nobody cares. Look all around, nobody's there. But I call on Jesus. Jesus makes it okay to sing my praise. Sing my praise. Sing my praise.
Every time I'm clapping my hands, people talk about me. They always gotta judge me. Yeah, yeah. Every time I'm doing my dance, they wanna criticize me and tell me that it godly. But when I'm
Down, nobody cares. Look all around, nobody's there.
when I call on Jesus,
It's okay
to sing my praise. wake up in the morning and you're looking at the kitchen, it's empty. The money now run and your fridge look like it's brand new. Unbelief man shut out my neighbor about for murder. Hey, Father God, away there, we need some help, yeah. Yo, Father God, away there, you can make some out of nothing at all. Cause you never give up on your children. Some out of nothing at all. Cause you never left me out, you never left me out. Some out of nothing at all. Cause you never give up. Cause when I'm down, nobody cares. It's all around, and there's nobody there. But I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay. Yes, I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay. See, I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay. For me to sing my praise. Cause when I'm down, nobody cares. Look all around, nobody's there. But I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay. Yes, I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay. See, I call on Jesus, and he makes it okay to sing my praise. To sing my praise.